Hey, what's happening everyone? It's G-Ball. Today I have a new knife here to unbox for you, coming in from Vixino Knives. This is actually a new release of a couple of new versions of their original design called the Rockshark. We had a couple of micarta variants and an Ultim variant release. Let's get into this box and see what we have here. A nice microfiber cloth. We have a zippered pouch, a couple of removable REs, and they include an extra set of Omega springs, a nice touch. These REs are actually removable, and you get two with every knife. At least so far, we've gotten two with each one. That is also a nice touch from Vixino. The version we're looking at here today is the blue micarta with the satin blade. Now, if you don't like micarta for whatever reason, they also did these in G10 in a couple of different colors, orange and white. Micarta, they got blue and black and I think green. They have satin and stonewash blades. They even did a blackwash version. They even did a blackwash blade version like you see here with the white G10. And they also just released a bunch of new thumb studs that you can pick up right off their website. And not every knife is going to be standard across the board, but a lot of knives are going to be very similar, and you can pick up these hardware sets for just a couple of dollars. I believe they're going to be aluminum, but they have blue and bronze and green, purple and red, so all kinds of different colors, so you can customize your Rockshark however you would like, and possibly use those thumb studs on some other various knives. It'll vary from knife to knife, but that option is available. This knife has gotten a very warm welcome since its release. We're going to be looking at 14C28N for the blade steel. As I said, there's lots of options for the finish on the blade, plus the handle material. I think the Ultim version is going to be an exclusive for their website, and I think those have sold very well, and at the time you're seeing this, they could be out of stock, but they will be back. I've talked with Vixino, and any of the versions that are currently out of stock, they will be back. The total length right at 7 inches. We have 3 inches of cutting edge, and we'll call it 3 1/8 of total blade. For a couple of size comparisons, we have the Katuo Mini Griffin up top, and we have the Kaiser Renaissance on the bottom. And two more, we have the Vastid Raccoon Sheep's Foot up top there, and you'll see it's just a little bit smaller than something like the Raccoon. And then we have the new Tenable Goblin L here on the bottom, not going to be near as long or as robust as the Goblin. This pocket clip works really well. We'll get our 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank out here and take a look at it in the pocket. You'll have just a tiny bit poking out. The clip looks clean. It has a stone wash finish to it, so it should take wear and tear nicely. Good retention on the way out. Good clearance under there, and it's recessed along with the screws. That means you're not going to have any interruption getting this in or out of the pocket. I think even a surface mounted clip where the screws are recessed, I even think that's good to go. But this is the top of the line when it comes to not having issue getting it in or out of the pocket. And they do a wonderful job here, including the option for lefty carry. And not only that, they have a filler tab, which keeps the look completely clean. That's another thing I want to make note of here. There is no branding on this bad boy whatsoever. You have their name really close to the scales here, very small. I can appreciate that. No problem with that whatsoever. We have a clean pivot that looks superb. No branding on the clip. Excellent stuff. We don't need an overwhelming billboarding on the knife. It's just, it's not necessary. Having the name nice and small right there, we can see who it is, you know, what it is, no problem. We don't need some big symbol or writing out on the face of the blade. So I like the way they're going at this. This is a really clean looking design. micarta for the backspacer, steel liners, tons of milling in there for weight relief. We'll get the arch nemesis out here and give this version a weight check. Now, I like to play a little game here on the channel with the new knives that come in. It is called Guess the Weight, where I attempt to guess the proper weight, but I invite you to play along. You put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you enjoy content like this, on your way down there, make sure you are subscribed here to the channel because I release videos like this every single day. I'm going to give it a go here, and I'm going to say we're right at like a 3-3. Oh! I should have went ratios. Damn. But sometimes they're heavier than ratios, so that's going to be right on point. Now we have a G10 variant here. I don't remember what the weight of this one is. It feels very similar. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a touch heavier, but it might be identical. Touch heavier. So that's where my mind wanted to go with this one, was like a 3.3. But the G10 one is actually at that 3.2, 3.3 area, where the micarta is going to be much closer to that 2.9, 3-ounce mark. See, that's why you come to GBall Vision. We're going to not only check the weight of the new version, but we're going to cross-check that with the weight of the previous version as well. That way, if you want something a little heftier, well, you can go with the G10. If you want something a little lighter, we got the micarta here. Nobody else is going to show you that type of stuff. We're going to get a look at some specs on the handle and blade. We'll start off with our handle thickness coming in at 0.55. That is beautiful. A nice thickness, 14.1 millimeters. We'll go over to the blade stock thickness, 2.8 millimeters, 111 thousandths. So not thick at all, and it's a fairly tall blade for its size. Let's see what we're looking at for a BTE measurement. We'll try to get the best hold we can, and I would say that's very fair, if not up just a little high, and that bad boy is coming down at 17 thousandths. Whew! Now hang around till the end of the video because I'm going to bring out some other knives that we're going to take a look at along with this particular knife. But first, we're going to get an edge check. This thing is coming down thin as hell. Let's see how it fares up against some catalog paper. We do know that 14C can take a screaming sharp edge, and that's how we want them to come out of the box. And it looks like Vixino here absolutely slayed this particular edge out of the box here. This is very, very good. Whoo. That is beautiful. Beautifully done right there. Oh, man. And then that satin just allows you to really flow through that catalog paper. Let's get a look at our hardware situation here. We have a T8 in the driver. So that's going to be T8 there on the body. And we're looking at T6 on the filler tab. We have T8 for the pivot. And we're going to be looking at T6 on the pocket clip. I'd like to see T8s all the way around from them, and I don't think it'll take long for them to make that, addition into their knives moving forward. Keep in mind, this is their very first design. I would say it's a safe design, but this is executed beautifully. If you've been around for some time, you've seen various companies come out with their first knife, and some of them have been atrocious first releases. This is an excellent first release, in my opinion. As casual of a design as this is, that may be so, but the detail is here. It's really good. You know what I mean? They took care of all the little things. Hell, we even have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. The crossbar lock is superb. You know, if I didn't know any better, I would say this is a Vosteed OEM or a Kaiser OEM. That's exactly what it feels like to me personally. And what that means is you're going to be getting a good quality knife, either which way. And the cool thing about the Vixino Rockshark here is you can pick them up for under 60 bucks. If you pick up one, I have a 10% discount code down in the description for you. And if you wanted to buy one for yourself and one for a buddy, or you wanted two different models, you can actually get a discount on two or more as well. So Vixino is offering up a really cool discount if you pick up one or more of their knives. Gotta give them a tap on the back for that, as well as this really nice design. We're going to introduce the newest Rockshark to the spine whacker. The two previous brothers did perfectly fine here. And what's cool is all these materials, like say you did get one or two or three of them, you can interchange stuff, move stuff around. You know what I mean? You could really make this your own, however you would like. And with the addition of new thumb studs, that is really cool. You can pick up two pairs for like $4. That is something sweet right there. They also offer REs that you can buy and pick up. So a nice little startup from Vixino. Let's see what we have here with our crossbar lock. No movement up or down, and no movement side to side. That actually feels very good. Woohoo, yeah. Give it a light tap just to get us going. And then I'm going to bring out, I don't think we're going to have any trouble here, folks. Yeah, sounds really good. And keep in mind, they send extra Omega springs in the box. So they're really covering a lot of bases. I mean, you could say, hey, could you send a little set of hardware along with it? But I think ultimately they would take care of you. And, you know, if you needed something like that, they would take care of you. So, you know, you could say include that in the box. But I think ultimately a lot of hardware ends up getting wasted that the companies send out. It's a nice touch on the company's end, but you know, and not that it costs that much, so really not a huge deal at the end of the day. But I did want to bring out a couple of other designs, some that really get brought up, you know, often when we see a knife like this right here. But two that I think would really get brought up is the bug out, of course. And you can see they're different knives. Yeah, they have a crossbar lock. They're both somewhat drop point blades, but so is the drop bear here. And then you throw that in there, and it really starts to show the differences in just these three right here. Completely different handles between the three. Very different blade shapes. Yeah, they're all crossbar locks. Yeah, they got thumb studs. They're all done very well, but they are different. And if I could put my 2 cents in it, and I will since it's my video, I would say that the Rockshark has better detail than both of these knives. We have a recessed clip on the Vixino here. That is way better than surface mounted, even though surface mounted is fine if the screws are recessed. The crossbar lock is done very well. So are these. We have less hardware involved here. We just have a pivot screw, a body screw, and then our filler tab screw. You know, the bug out has way more hardware, and this has one less screw because it doesn't have a filler tab. You just have the holes here. I'd much rather have the filler tab and the screw than 2 holes or 3 holes. That's just my opinion there. And we have a non-tooled pivot, which looks way cleaner. So this is a refined variant. If you want to say it's like a bug out or a drop bear or whatever, sure. But it's a refined version of both of these, in my opinion. It's not in quite the materials that this is, but keeping this under 60 bucks, even less with the discount code, this is a really hard bargain. You know, I know they're jumping in there in the mid 50s with the price point. I think this competes all day long with something like the Raccoon crossbar lock knives. Here's a top liner lock, but all day long does this knife compete with stuff in its price range around the $55, $60 mark. It is well done, well thought out, well executed. I couldn't complain a whole lot about anything. I mean, as far as this design is concerned, you know, sure, you could say you want a larger size, you want a smaller size, you want a different lock, you want, you know, material upgrades, but that's not actually changing the design per se or the quality. The most I could say is maybe a longer backspacer, and I'm sure I said that in that one. If it's possible, I think this would be very well suited with a 3/4 length backspacer. That would clean it up even more, and it would be even more comfortable. But other than that, this would be a superb secondary EDC knife that you can really use, beat on. It's going to take it, and it's under 60 bucks, so it's not going to cost a ton of money to put this into your rotation. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of the Rockshark here? I always look forward to hearing your thoughts. Which one would you go with, G10, micarta, or Altum? I look forward to hearing from you. Hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And if you want to continue to see more dope knife and EDC content, make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. I'll have those links and discount codes down in the description. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you have not seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.